So today I'm out having a look at the OEX Bush Pro Salamander bivvy tent. I've had this up briefly in the garden just to have a quick check over it and spray it down with a bit of permethrin, ready for using it out in the hills. So this is a single skin, single pole hooped bivvy tent. It comes in at 1.24 kilograms, which for a bivvy is pretty weighty really when you consider my Lanshan trekking pole tent is less than 1 kilo. But then when you compare it up to some other budget tents like the Van Gogh Banshee, which is like 2.4, it's still pretty lightweight. So the reason I've gone for this rather than just using the Lanshan is for any camps that I think I need to be a little bit more stealthy, or I know the area that I've got to pitch is quite small. This will be perfect. It's got a tiny footprint, and I've got a couple of camps in mind for this, as long as it performs quite well. Let's have a look at what you get inside the bag. Well, first thing is the dry bag itself. Feels pretty good, quite decent materials, roll top. I just wish though more companies would do the side access for the bags like Van Gogh do. It just makes it so much easier when you're trying to put it away. Next up, pegs. Right, so you get 8 shepherd hook pegs, very bog standard, what you get with most budget tents. They seem alright, very lightweight, pretty strong, to be fair. I've seen worse, but I'll be swapping them out when I go on my camp with some of my own better pegs. And then you get one single pre-bent pole. I think they say it's a 7.9mm OEX Enduro pole, and then the actual bivvy itself. Materials feel pretty good, feels robust. All the material feels thick, good quality. The fly sheet on it has a 5,000mm hydrostatic head, and then the ground sheet is 7,000mm hydrostatic head. It's really thick, like I said, feels really robust, feels good. The downside of that is, like I said, at 1.24 for a bivvy of this size, that's quite hefty. I mean, I've got an Alp Kit Hunker bivvy bag, which is a fraction of the weight of this, but your head's out to the elements. If it rains, you're just gonna get wet. Right, okay, so let's get this set up. Single pole, so you just thread it through. And into the eyelets. And you can see here in each corner at the front, the tiny little poles. Now at the foot end of the bivvy, there's some more poles. And these, I think, are just to give it a bit more structure at the foot end. This is where you're going to be getting your ventilation, because there's a mesh here. You've got 2 guy ropes here at the back. So if I just... The bits on your guy ropes, they're not just cheap plastic, they're actual metal fittings, so it's quite nice. Okay, so my first impressions is absolutely dying to get out in this. I think it looks brilliant. Absolutely love the colour. Materials on it seem really good. So at the front you've got your door. It has got a slight bit of ventilation here, bit of mesh running around. So I suppose when you've got it zipped up, you're not just gonna suffocate. What I do like is got little clips here, so if the particular bad weather, you can just hook this down onto your peg loops, just to stop it flapping around. What I do love though is the fact that nicer weather, probably like an evening like this, you can just roll this up. It's got nice zips. Looking at the inside, the first thing that hits me is like how generous it is with space. My only other experience with a bivvy is with the Alpkit Hunker, and I had literally no space at all. By the time I put my sleep mat and my sleeping bag in there, I could barely squeeze myself in. So yeah, tons of space. I mean, my head's only going to come up to this bit, and I'll have all this space here at the top end to put my boots and some of my bits and pieces. The only thing I've not figured out yet is my bag, whether if I've got a small bag with me, it may squeeze in the top bit, otherwise it'll have to be outside bivvy. But that's not the end of the world. I can probably sort something out for that. All the seams are taped. They seem like really good quality. All the stitching is good quality. One thing that people have mentioned is the structure of this. It can be a bit flappy when it's not zipped up, but there is a loop up here, and I suppose you could just run a guy rope off that, peg it down just to hold it up there. Because this is an OEX product, you can pick these up in the likes of Go Outdoors and Blacks, places like that. Now the actual retail price of this is upwards of £200. Now I think with Go Outdoors membership price, I think that brings it down to somewhere in the region of I think it was £125, £126. I'll put the actual price up on the screen. If you're lucky, if you're patient, they do pop up in the Go Outdoors sales. I think in the last bank holidays they had this on offer for, I think it was £95, which for that price I think it's a pretty good deal. If you're willing to look on Facebook Marketplace, eBay, places like that, you can pick these up for, I'd say, between £35 and £60, which at those prices, it's an absolute bargain. I think a lot of people love the idea of sleeping in a bivvy, so they'll buy one, and then they'll use it 1 or 2 times, realise it's not for them, and then sell it on. It's like I said, with this one, it had been used twice. I tried to get my wife to try it in the garden, and she said, I'm not getting in that, it'd be like sleeping in a coffin. so it's not for everyone. I managed to get this one myself off eBay for £35. The guide used it twice and then didn't want it anymore. I know of another YouTuber, the Walking Kev, he got his as well for £35. So if you're willing to be a bit patient and look around, you can find some absolute bargains. I'll put a link to Kev's YouTube channel below. He does some cracking tent reviews and wild camps. It was actually his video of the Salamander bivvy tent that made me want to get one and have a look at it myself. So the reason why I got this was obviously the price. It's a major factor, but obviously the footprint of it. There's a couple of camps I've got my eye on where I'm not too sure how much space I'll have. I think it's going to be quite a squeeze. So something like this would be absolutely perfect. The first few times I go out in it, I'm hoping I get weather like this where it's just sunny and warm. I need to come up with a solution for the rain, mainly like just for cooking my food and stuff. But inside the tent, even if you have to get in here because it's pouring down with rain, there's plenty of room in there just to sit, well not to sit, but there's plenty of room in there to lie down and read or watch a movie on your phone or something. So it's cracking. So if you've got this far, thanks for watching, I really do appreciate it. And if you've not subscribed already, make sure you do. So yeah, so again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.